morning. My name is Sandy McDonald, and I'm the Director of the Office of Economic and Small Business Development. And we want to welcome you this morning to our Get Certified with Broward County and Why virtual workshop. I certainly want to first start off by thanking our esteemed guests for joining us. And actually, it's not so much joining us, it's us joining them. And that's one of the things that Broward County is extremely excited about is the partnerships that we have here in Broward County. So certainly, I want to welcome and thank Bishop Henry Fernandez for organizing this and making sure that we can bring this information directly to his congregation, his constituents, his community in its entirety. Certainly want to welcome one of our key partners with Broward College and the diversity and inclusion, Anthea Pennant, who is major, far beyond me. I always have to say this. I only been here 7 years. She's been doing this, not aging, but she's been doing this forever and does a great job of making sure that small businesses, women businesses, minority businesses are truly inclusive and truly considered in all things Broward. We might have to tag that one day, in all things Broward, because that's what she's about. And certainly, Ms. Jarrett Shaiwa is someone who I met, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago, but it seems like 33 years. She's our chairperson of our Black Chamber, and she recognizes, acknowledges, and is actually delivering on exactly what Broward's promise need to be, to assure that we're truly inclusive as she carries that torch. For Black businesses, minority businesses, women businesses, she wants to make sure that they're not a part of this train, but they're part of this engine, to make sure that we recognize that this is the direction we're going and we must go with them. And then we have our staff will also be presenting today, my number one ace. We have Ms. Cheryl Roberts, who's certainly going to be able to entertain any Q&A you have relevant to our program and the webinar you're going to see today, because I'm not even going to talk a lot. There's some things they want me to do, but we're going to get to the webinar. But I also, and though he'll be joining us, I always have to give kudos and thank you to Mayor Holness. Mayor Holness, who is certainly a passionate and committed leader in Broward County. Mayor, not just an individual who at the end of the day is down for what's right when it comes to small women and minority businesses, and assuring that county agencies do their utmost to make sure that it's inclusive opportunities in Broward County. So again, we want to thank you as an audience. And again, today is about getting certified and why. We do multiple certification workshops, but the reality is we also want to get to the why. There's a reason you need to be certified. So before we get going, I want to point to the bishop and ask him, I know I'm government, but I'm just going to ask him to say a few words and to take me into some form of grace or blessing, and we'll get this thing going. Bishop. We're going to try to unmute you there.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Good morning to everyone, and I want to thank all of you for joining us today. Let me begin by first thanking everyone who's on this panel with me today, and the people working behind the scene who have helped us to coordinate this very important workshop. Thanks to Mayor Dale Holness for his commitment to this project and for his help in facilitating today's meeting and using this platform as a way of helping the small business owners. Now, let me say to the small business owners, I want to encourage you to believe in yourself and to know that knowledge, partnership, and faith are your best friends when doing business. Let me say it again. That knowledge, partnership, and faith are your best friends when doing business. I want to assure you that a wise man is full of strength and will enhance his might. Whenever you gain wisdom, and that's what you're going to do today, that you enhance your strength, your ability to succeed. So we're here for you. All of us who are on this panel today, we're here for you. The faith community and other organizations are here to assist you. And we want to make sure that you stay in business during this pandemic. Now, as a small business owner, you should embrace partnership with entities that can help your business to grow, and also network with other small business owners to strengthen your own business practices. And finally, if you fail to run your business, now this is very important, if you fail to run your business without faith, you're taking away the source of the energy that fuels your commitment to do business. You know, if faith is not a part of the equation, then with the obstacles and the challenges that you're going to face while doing business, you're never going to make it. It is in challenging times like these, it is your faith that's going to keep you going. It's your faith that's going to tell you, I can do this. I have the ability to do this. And I believe that you're gifted and you possess the tools to operate your business successfully. And you must believe that your business will survive every obstacle that confronts it because of your faith. So when you have faith in your business, that it's a God idea, it's a good idea, then nothing, I believe, will stop you from succeeding. Again, thanks for joining us today. And please now join me in prayer. Our God and our Heavenly Father, as we begin today's workshop, I want to thank you for allowing us all to see this day. And thank you for the opportunity to receive information that will be given to help strengthen the small business owners in our communities. We thank you that everything that ever became great started out small, especially from the beginning. From the beginning of time, there was nothing. And with faith, it turned nothing into everything that exists today. Today, I ask that you grant them favor in their businesses, give them uncommon opportunities to take their businesses to the next level. Let them benefit from all the information they will receive and give them the wisdom to discover how to implement the information in their businesses. And most importantly, today I ask that you grant their families protection during this pandemic. This we ask in Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much, and please enjoy the workshop today.
Bishop, thank you, and thank you for those words. Thank you for that prayer. And for our audience, we want to walk you through who this office is, what we do, what we're responsible for doing. But we also want to then put you in a position to understand, if interested, you don't have to be, but if interested in getting certified with Broward County, we want to show you in that process. We want to walk you, hold your hands, as Ms. Jarrett often tells me, through that process. So we'll get started now with this Get Certified and why. So let me tell you a little bit about my office, about the Office of Economic and Small Business Development. At the end of the day, we are the Office of Economic and Small Business Development. We work with our community partners. We have major partners and major businesses, nonprofits, community-based organizations that we support and who support us. And our job is to work with our 31 municipalities to assure that there's real opportunities right here in Broward County for small businesses to participate just as much as we have that opportunity for our larger businesses here in Broward County to participate. As we go to the next slide, I want to let you know about our program relevant to the fact that it's not just an idea that we do something and we do it differently every day. Go one more slide, Savika. We are actually here because it's a part of the goals. It's a part of the mission and the vision of the county commission that we provide these services. So it's key for you to understand that we are a part of an ordinance that requires us to do what we do. So it's not optional. It's not like it's going to change tomorrow. You're going to need to get 4 or 5 commissioners before it goes away. But right now, right here, this day, we're here to provide this service and to be inclusive of what our opportunities are. Why is it also important? Understand this on behalf of America. Then I'm going to get to that chart that's in front of you. 97% of all the businesses in America by SBA standards, 1 to 500 employees, are small. 1 to 500 employees are small. But take a look at Broward as a footprint. We are a small business community. 89% of our small businesses, which fits into that range of SBA, 1 to 500 employees, but 89% of our businesses have 20 employees or less. That's extremely small. And to align what that is with the national numbers, 94% of American businesses have 1 to 100 employees. Look at our numbers, 20%, 20 employees or less, 89%. And then 87% of all of Americans fall into that same number, 20 employees or less. So Broward is small because America's small businesses are small. So this is why it's intertwined. This is why it's rooted in the goals and the vision. And we currently operate under a Business Opportunity Act 2012 as amended May 9th. Our program is an ordinance. So it's a requirement. We're not here to have options and maybe you'll do it. It's a requirement. So our Business Opportunity Act is extremely important to us. It's our guide. It's what we go by. It's what responders to bids go by. And if you choose to be a county vendor and you choose to participate in county procurement and you're afforded an opportunity as a prime contractor or a sub to participate, you too will be held bound to the Business Opportunity Act 2012 as amended most recently, May 9th, 2018. Next slide. Here's what we're talking about. This is what we want you to know, and keep in mind, all of this information, though we're going to be going through it, because I really want you to get to the webinar, I really want to get to the why, and I want to get to those Q&As. All of this information will also be made available on our website. For you specifically, you can also get this information from our chamber partner, Ms. Pennant, and Broward College also has this information. We want this readily available. So my local program really is divided into two. SBE, Small Business Enterprise, CBE, County Business Enterprise. And the only real difference is on some threshold levels. We too adopt the Small Business Administration recommendation when it comes to size standards for personal net worth, which simply means when we're checking you out as you're considering becoming one of us, your personal net worth has to be 1.32 million or less. And that's not including your primary residence. And as a SBE, it says that as a county, these are projects we looked at 250,000 or less. And if your business on an average is doing 3 million or less over 3 years in construction, or 1 million or less over 3 years in contractual services, or 500,000 or less over 3 years in professional consultant, you would fit into my SBE reserve category. But again, I want to say this, and you'll find out in the webinar later on, you're just going to fill out my application. You're going to give us all the information we need. We'll help to determine if you're SBE, CBE, or both. But what you also need to know, if I took that to another level, someday if you start as an SBA, you graduate to be a CBE. I'm sorry, if you start as an SBE, you graduate to be a CBE. And a CBE is for county projects, over 250,000. The whole objective is that these are the projects that mostly are subcontracted. When we get into the bigger projects, someone wins a $30 million contract, they can't take that money and go away. We get to say at least 25, 30, 40% of that must be small. That's my CBE categories. And to be a CBE, that personal net worth is the same again, 1.32 million or less, not counting your primary residence, and your business stuff. Your business is normally averaging about 5 million or less over 3 years for most of the services. But if you're in construction, the program allows you to average about 9 million or less over 3 years. If you fit into those boxes for us, if you've been a business in Broward at least 1 year, if you're providing a useful function, Mr. McDonald, what's a useful function? If you're currently doing something on a regular basis that we actually procure as a good material, service, or product, then you provide a useful function. So those are some of the devil in the details you're going to hear about later today when this webinar walks you through the certification application. We also have a federal program. As small businesses, women-owned businesses, minority businesses, take a look at my local program. We do pay attention. And we like to remind women and minority applicants on my local side that Broward County administers this federal program, 49 CFR Part 23 and 26, that deals with DBE, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, and ACDBE, Airport Concessions, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. And the key about the federal program, we do utilize money from the Department of Transportation. And whenever you use money from the Department of Transportation relevant to highway activity, but primarily for us, relevant to transit and transportation, aviation, and airport, whenever they touch DOT money, We then utilize a methodology as given to us by the federal government, and we determine what type of goal we place on those projects. When you take a look at my overall goal, we have to do a triennial report that tries to identify what our percentages are. So I got an FTA number, I got an FAA number, but I still look at every single goal. These are some of the qualifiers to be certified as a DBE or an ACDBE. And if you notice real quick, personal net worth is the same. But when it comes to the size of the business for my DBEs, your company, no matter what the industry, you can be averaging 23, almost 24 million a year or less and be certified. And as an ACDBE, that's really not small at all. You can be averaging close to $56.5 million a year or less and be in this federal program. And the other upside of this federal program, you can be getting your excitement on in Florida. You can be working in Florida and your aunt or your cousin or your brother tell you about an opportunity in Georgia, and you have a chance to get your certification without repeating the entire process and go to Georgia and also set up camp and keep going. So as we go through this process today, and we're primarily going to be focusing on my local program, I want you to keep in mind, if you're looking at expanding and doing other things across the country on the federal side, we do have that program. And if you're a minority or woman, you want to talk to us. So the main thing, my day job, is to always remind my businesses about getting certified, and then the why. And I'm going to get to the why in a minute. But I really do my presentation based on 3 Ps. And the 3 Ps is not just government. This is a good business model inclusive of private industry. Program. Whatever you do, you need to understand and know the program by which you're participating or operating. So as a small business, we want to help you understand that ordinance that I spoke to earlier. Business Opportunity Act 2012, as recently amended, May 9th, 2018. What is that program? What does that ordinance really say? It really says that, hey, if I'm that small business and if I end up getting certified, that office will work with procurement and all the county agencies. There's some bids that they're going to do that I get to bid against businesses my size. I don't have to compete with the big boys. This is a way of truly helping you to grow your business. This program also lets me know there's opportunities that even when the big boys win the contract, I have a chance to approach them, to reach out to them and become one of their subcontractors. And another part of really understanding the program is different than a decade to 2 decades ago. If someone picks me, he can't win the bid from the county and then 3 weeks later send me home and hire his brother. He's committed to me. As a small business, private industry or government, you want to understand the program that you chose to operate in. So our first P is making sure all of our small businesses understand the program. And understanding the program, just like anything else, you want to know how to engage the program. That's the process. How do I navigate that process? What type of information, what type of tips, what type of structure does Broward County provide me to understand the process? Yes, procurement is the one who has the official portal and the official platform to help and to assure that county bids go out. But understanding process, you'll recognize our office want to help you not only get certified, we want to help you not only get registered to be a county vendor, we want to help you to understand the procurement process. We want to make sure you understand those tips as a business. At the end of the day, you need to know not only how to navigate bid sync, but how to approach prime contractors, how to find out information from county agencies before a bid ever comes out, how to actually trail bids previously or historically to garner and gather information so that the next time that repeated bid comes back around, you're ready to bid. Understanding process, government or private industry, is key, but we're not leaving you alone. We get to say this as a part of this workshop because it's a part of the developing of small businesses we offer. We have not only a newsletter that sends out information and tips every week, but we do virtual workshops. We used to do meet and greets face-to-face even before COVID, but we're going to continue to make sure our small businesses recognize certification was the beginning. Understanding the program and knowing the process is the key to being successful and completing and competing for contracts. And folks, I hate to bust your bubble, but I always got to be honest. It is about completing and competing for contracts because I'm not purchasing. I could never guarantee you're going to win not one contract. You could never guarantee, based on whatever your industry was, that day one when you started your business, someone was going to continuously pay you for what you did. So that's why you still started, because you had a belief, you had the commitment, you was willing to do what was necessary, you have the drive, you wanted to learn your industry, you wanted to learn your market. So the same is here in government. I want to make sure you know as much as you need to know about the program. I want to make sure you know as much as you need to know about the process so that you would have the ammunition to be competitive. Yes, it is still a market where you and others have to go at it to end up being who the county's looking for or who our primes are looking for. But again, I get to say this, many of you I don't know yet. That's something you knew when you started your business. That's something you recognized you were going to be competing against others like you. That's something that's a quality and an opportunity more than it is a challenge. You want to know what makes you unique and different. You want to know that if I put in my homework and I do a tad bit more than that other bidder, that I'm the one that's going to be considered. So we are clear that we want to offer you more information, go back one, about the process. But at the process, it's really about the people. Now I'm government. There's ethics and there's rules. Every county agency don't want to meet you. Every county agency in favor don't want to have that chit chat. But the ones that do, you want to have that chit chat. Our office, we're always going to meet you. We're always going to speak with you. We're always going to expose you. But again, understanding the people is not so much about the county as how do you build a relationship with prime contractors? How do you put yourself in position to assure that if I'm one of electrical contractors and this prime contractor has to hire someone, how do you make sure you're the one that they hire? People. Another part of our P is making sure we expose you to the people. So the 3 Ps is what we really focus on as an office to help small businesses who make the commitment to not only becoming a county vendor, but deciding that they end up wanting to be a certified small business. We want to make sure you understand Broward's program, the process for the program, and meet the right people so that you can gainfully create these opportunities. And why are we having this session today? That's the next slide. Because at the end of the day, those are my numbers, folks. Let me shock you with something. Broward County, 1.9 million residents, 31 cities in my county, 1,300 square miles of county. And folks, we have over 70. I'm bumping the number. Most folks keep hearing me talk about 68. We have over 70, inclusive of COVID. There's over 70,000 businesses in Broward County. And I already told you about the national numbers, over 70,000 businesses in Broward County. So even if I took 10%, you all got quick math, 10% of 70,000 is 7,000. If I took 5%, 5% of that 70,000, which 10% is 7, that's 3,500. Folks, I know there's 5% of the businesses in Broward that fit those criteria I spoke about earlier. So then you tell me, if I got at least 3,500 who fit that, and who could certainly benefit from county contracts, why is it that I got the short side of 700 certified firms? So if I'm interested in Broward, if Broward happens to procure what I provide as a good material or service or product, I'm like, Mr. McDonald, shut your mouth. I'm gonna get certified and I wanna get in that game because those are good numbers for me to participate. So I want you to think that way. I too, because the county has so many projects, still want to grow my number of certified firms, and I wanna be crystal clear. I don't want to grow certified firms so that 600 becomes 1,600. It's not my interest. I need that 668. I really do need it to grow to 1,000, but I need to know at all times 750,000 of my 1,000 are actively participating in my program for bids, and I need to grow to make sure that at least 50% of that, 500 are actually actively winning. Folks, this is not getting certified for the sake of getting certified. I need you to get certified because you're willing to be committed to understanding those 3 Ps, creating these opportunities, and getting engaged. And why is that important? That's important because we have projects. We have opportunities, and I'm embarrassed to say, but it's an opportunity to say that at the end of the day, we don't have enough small businesses. Right now, as an incentive to show you that the county, the mayor and his colleagues as commissioners are serious, that was just our footprint in terms of what took place 2018 to 2019. $177 million worth of commitments out of $355 million went to small businesses. So see, that's an excellent start. Those are commitments. Those are things that we signed on the line. Those are projects we're going to follow to the end. I need to come back to someone a year and a half, 2 years from now, when those projects, or at least half of those projects are done, and tell you it wasn't just a commitment, it came to fruition. Folks made money. So again, that's the upside, that chart of our commitment. But you need to know we have upcoming projects that we certainly need more small businesses. That's why we're here today, and I'm just going to run through a few of them before we get you to your webinar piece. Key thing is, COVID has slowed everything. We're not even faking that. COVID has slowed everything. But there's a portion of that expansion of the convention center and the new hotel that's still going to continue for the next year, year and a half. And all combined, there's still about $250 million, over $250 million of work to continue. That don't change. There's work at our port, has nothing to do with whether or not cruise lines are coming in and out, but because we still have to get the goods and services around the world in for the big ships, we're still going to do our deepening and widening project at the port. That's work that we have underway that we still need small businesses. And the airport. Unfortunately, our planes haven't been flying in and out. We will get our tourism and our visitor and business traffic back, but in the interim, we still got money in the bank so we can go address some of the new master plan activities that's happening at the airport. That's required in terms of who we are and what we do. Broward has projects with money ready to continue. Broward is also going to use those projects as a way to re-jumpstart our community to help come out of this COVID. So again, there's business opportunities in Broward, and though the slide in front of you said Broward is buying, we are. But I also have to be honest, business is business and you always want the truth. Broward buys a lot. We just got through saying, you got an airport, you got a convention center, you got a port, you got roads, you got county parks, you got county buildings, you got county libraries, you got transit. Broward buys a lot, but we don't buy everything. So again, we want to take a look with you based on your good material or service or product, and we'll determine with you how often Broward procures your good material or service. And if it looks as if it's something that's inviting, and if you're willing to take on that challenge, which you have to turn to an opportunity to be competitive, then you want to get certified with us. This Broward is buying pamphlet that we still pass around. It's not for you to read and look at like an entrepreneur and say, let me go start a business in this. Why? Because I've already told you, business is about business decision. Don't read the sheet. Go then start a business tomorrow. 3 years later, you ain't made no money. Now you're crying that you said Broward is buying and nobody hired me. Business is business. This is a sheet that we put together because there are businesses, there are entities that's in our county who already provide these goods and services. And we need to let them know the county could potentially be a client of yours. If you already do one of the things on my Broward is buying sheet, or if you know someone who already does one of the things on my Broward buying sheet, you want to get them engaged with our program. This list is about existing businesses that we don't have enough when I'm setting goals, or even to create reserve opportunities where small just bid against small. So that's a helpful tip for existing businesses, but you know business not only is a risk, it needs to be about best practice. I caution people, don't grab my list, say, ooh wee, Broward is buying, I apologize, body bags, and then you all of a sudden want to go get into the business of selling body bags. And then 3 years later, when you ain't sold me no body bags, you're mad. This is about businesses based on what they currently do. Next slide. So one of our major projects, and this is one that even if I'm not in the room, we got a champion. Ms. Pennant is our champion. Surtax. If you happen to be in Broward, not just as a business or a resident, about 2 years ago, you agreed with the county. You passed a surtax. We put that extra penny. Palm Beach and Miami was already 7% sales tax. We were 6%. We added an extra penny, but that penny's committed. Transportation operation, transportation services, infrastructure throughout the cities, and the future of rail. That penny is going to generate about $355 million a year, every year for the next 28 years or 29 years. We've already started. It was a 30-year program, 30 for 30. But when we look at the math on eligible projects, we're comfortable saying at least 53 million every year. And I'm talking about starting right now. At least 53 million has the opportunity to find its way into the pockets of certified small businesses for the first time, not just the county, even if the cities touch this surtax money. 30% of what they do on eligible projects must be with my certified small firms. Again, folks, I need more certified small firms. Now, I have to say this, so I'm going to take another minute to say this slowly. I just told you about that Broward is buying. That's not a sheet for entrepreneurs. That's about existing businesses. I don't often do this, but since we did this 30 for 30, this is real. This is when a business or even an entrepreneur do want to consider pivoting or starting something new. See, I wouldn't do that on my convention center project. At the end of the day, the convention center project, which is a $1 billion project with a B, is going to end in about 3.5 years. New hotel, expanded convention center, great. I wouldn't tell you to pivot or start a new business for that. No guarantees. There's no guarantees anyway, but less of a guarantee. Project's over in 3 years. 30-year project, folks. If you were to do your homework and understand all the things that are going to occur through the county and through the cities for the next 30 years, you know, you probably can get with some joint venture partners or some folks that have other folks who got ideas. You can probably decide, well, let me see what opportunities are there. You could probably take 2 to 3 years and dot your I and cross your T. You could probably incorporate your business and get competitive. You could probably do all that within 5 years, and you still got 24 more years to be aggressive. Surtax is a true opportunity because we're not only going to be trying to attract and create more capacity building, surtax is not going away overnight. So this is the one you want to, if you are a business looking to do something different coming out of COVID, if you are the startup entrepreneur and you're trying to figure out what way you go, surtax is the one that you take your time, you do your R&D, research and development, and if this sounds like something you want to be aggressive about, so all my construction related people, no matter what degree of construction you've been doing for years, you might want to pay attention to infrastructure. 31 cities, infrastructure projects, county infrastructure projects, whole lot of activity. That's my hot tip for the day. 30 for 30 is something you need to say. So I'm coming back to the 3 Ps, which is going to end it for me this morning. Because again, if I'm telling you the whys are only substantive and the foundation is built off of knowing our program, understanding our process, and engaging the right people. That's what this office will offer you beyond just getting certified. So if the slides are correct, I think that might be it for my slide, and I'm certainly going to give it over to my ace, Ms. Cheryl Roberts, who is certainly going to take you through the process and take you through the webinar regarding certification, and I'll probably catch you on the back end of this presentation day. Thank you much.
Thank you, Sandy. Can everybody hear me? Hello? Is my audio working?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. So I've been answering some questions through the Q&A process here, but let's go ahead and get started, and I'll answer questions. I'll either type them out, or as we finish the video, I'll answer them live.
And I'll join you, Cheryl, and answer some too.
Okay.
The Broward County Office of Economic and Small Business Development, or OESBD for short, welcomes you to the Completing Your Local Certification Application webinar. This webinar will provide step-by-step instructions on how to complete the combined certification application for Broward County's 2 small business programs, County Business Enterprise, or CBE, and Small Business Enterprise, or SBE. You will also receive useful tips and recommendations to help you submit a complete application in order to minimize application processing time. Now, let's get started. Our goal is to help our local small businesses navigate our certification process in order to gain access to business opportunities with Broward County. But first, there are some requirements and other details to consider. You must be a registered Broward County vendor before applying for certification. To register, visit bidsync.com. Also, please note that at this time, only for-profit firms are eligible for CBE and SBE certification. If your firm is a nonprofit entity, do not complete this application. However, if you are a nonprofit organization, you can contact our office and we can explore other opportunities that may be available to you. At this point, we have determined that your firm is a for-profit firm registered with Broward County. Now it's time to determine if your firm meets the requirements for SBE and CBE certification. Both certifications require you to consider your firm's location, your firm's annual gross receipts, and the personal net worth of your firm's owners. If you are not certain your firm meets the certification requirements, please visit our website at broward.org/econdev and click the Get Certified tab on the left. There you will find the link to the local certification requirements page, as well as the combined certification application. When completing your application, here are a few items to keep in mind. All questions must be answered and all requested documents must be submitted. Incomplete applications or applications submitted without the requested documentation will be returned. If a question does not apply to your firm, please write NA in the space provided. The county recognizes that you may not have all the documentation we request. If that is the case, please submit a letter with your documentation stating which documents do not exist and why. Tip: there is a difference between a document that does not exist for valid reasons and a document that does not exist but should exist and is required. For example, the checklist asks for professional licenses. If the services provided by your firm do not require a professional license, then this is an acceptable reason why the document does not exist. Here is an example of an unacceptable reason. A firm filed its taxes in 2013 and 2015, but did not for 2014. The owner thought he did not have to file since there was no revenue. Even if a business does not make money or incurs a loss, it is still required to file a tax return for that year. Therefore, writing NA for the 2014 tax return would not be appropriate. If the IRS requires it, so do we. Also note that a document may be requested from you that does not appear on the included checklist. This request may be necessary if, after the initial review of your application, there is further documentation needed to answer a question about the firm's operations. Now that we have gotten that out of the way, let's begin the application process. The application starts with general information about your business, such as legal business name, along with previous names and aliases, and lists of all owners. Tip: if you have multiple locations, please use your Broward County business telephone number and address. P.O. boxes or other commercial mail service locations, such as a UPS store, cannot be used as a viable business address. You may list a mailing address at one of those facilities, but that address cannot be used as the principal place of business. Next, you will select the appropriate business structure of your company. This will include your business type and origin, which is how the business was acquired by the applicant owners listed in Part A and its start date. This cannot be left blank. Part C will require you to indicate the number of full-time and part-time employees, including the owners. Tip: this should include all owners. In Part D, you will list the names and addresses of all branch offices, subsidiaries, and affiliates for your firm. Next, you will select the type of business activity or industry that best describes your firm's specialty. If you are not in the business of construction, architecture, engineering, or commodity supply, then mark Business Contract Services, which covers all other scopes of work. Section F is a very important part of your application. This is where you will describe the products and services your firm provides by using the North American Industry Classification System, or NAICS codes. These codes are used to describe the products or services your firm provides. Is your business very specialized, like roofing services, or is its scope of services broad, like construction and repair? NAICS codes help you define just that. Not sure where to find the NAICS codes for your business? Visit naics.com and select NAICS Identification Tools and enter keywords into the search bar. Tip for commodity suppliers. Keep in mind you must show inventory and proof of ongoing business activity for any selected codes. Now that you have your NAICS codes filled in, describe the goods and/or services you offer. Remember to be specific. The next section covers business ownership. It is important that you do not leave any parts of this section blank. A. First, you must list the personal net worth of all applicants and their ownership percentage in the business. Be sure to include a personal net worth worksheet for each owner listed. The worksheet can be found at the end of the application packet. You will need to complete the worksheet before you can complete this section. Personal net worth does not include the value of the business or the equity in the owner's primary residence. Personal net worth should also not include life insurance policies that do not have a cash value. If you cannot take out a loan against the policy, it has no cash value. B. Then indicate any changes in ownership or owner interest that have occurred. If change has occurred, provide the date in the space given. If no change has occurred, please put NA in the space provided. As previously mentioned, this section of the application cannot be left blank. C. In Part C, provide the total cost for starting or acquiring the business. Include cash, equipment, real estate, or other consideration transferred to the business. D. Next, list any additional capital contributions of cash, equipment, etc. made by anyone since the business originated or was acquired. E. In Part E, list the name and title of each person who is a board member. If the firm is a sole proprietorship or partnership and has no board, please indicate NA in the space provided. Section 3 focuses on the financial side of your business. A. In Part A, provide the names of the banks, credit unions, or other financial institutions where you have business accounts and identify the type of accounts. B. Next, list the exact gross earnings of the company for the previous 3 years. This amount should match the gross earnings listed on the business tax returns for the firm. Then, provide the name and contact number of the firm's bonding agent and current bonding capacity. D. In Part D, list the 3 largest contracts or sales completed by the firm during the last 3 years. Include each customer or contact name, company, or organization, the dollar amount of each contract or sale, and the date completed. Tip: if any are subcontracts, be sure to indicate the contract as such and provide the name of the prime contractor. If your firm does not have contracts but is a service provider on a pay-to-perform basis, invoice numbers or purchase orders are sufficient. This section involves roles and responsibilities. A. In Part A, list the name and titles of the individuals responsible for the listed items. B. Then list the salaries or other compensation received by the owners and/or officers of the firm. Include anyone listed in Section 2, Part A above. C. For Part C, if anyone in authority in your firm holds stock in another firm engaged in the same or similar business as your firm, respond yes to this question. D. For Part D, if anyone in authority in your firm is a former owner, current owner, or works for another firm engaged in the same or similar type of business as your firm, respond yes to this question. E. For Part E, if you answered yes to Part C and/or Part D above, provide the name of each individual along with the name of the other firm or firms, the individual's ownership percentage, and the position held in the other firm. F. Businesses are considered affiliates of each other when they share common ownership, management, facilities, or contractual relations. If the firm is an affiliate or has affiliates under that definition, provide information regarding the common ownership, management, and contractual relationships between the firms. For example, the firm's owner works as project manager for ABC Construction. This is considered an affiliation. If an owner is also part owner of another company, those 2 firms are affiliated. The firm has an office in another firm's location and uses that firm's secretary, fax machine, etc. This is also an affiliation. Section 5 deals with site locations. A. Part A lists all locations your firm uses to conduct business. This includes principal and regional offices and warehouse space. Indicate if the location is a residence or a commercial facility, and if any facilities utilized by your firm are shared. B. If any facility is shared, provide information on the firm sharing space. C. Then, verify if your firm is open during regular business hours. If not, please indicate hours of operation. Your firm must have a continuous operating presence in Broward County, and this location must include full-time employees sufficient enough to perform contracted work with the county. This section focuses on licenses and certification. A. List any relevant licenses, certificates of training, and degrees held by the corporation or its owners and employees. Attach licenses, receipts, and certificates to the completed application. List all the federal, state, county, or city licenses and permits held by your firm to legally conduct business, legally operate a business in Florida, and the jurisdiction where the firm is located. Included are city and county business tax receipts, professional licenses, certificates of competency, etc. Submit copies of all current licenses, permits, and/or pending applications. Section 7 is for companies that use heavy equipment. A. If your firm is involved in construction, demolition, trucking, fleet management, or other business where significant capital is tied up in vehicles or heavy equipment, complete the chart. If not, you should indicate NA and proceed to Section 8. Complete the chart. This section deals with businesses currently certified with any other governmental agencies, federal, state, county, or city anywhere in the United States. A. In Part A, provide the name of the agency or agencies, the type of certifications, and the date the certifications will expire. Also, include all attempts to attain certification by anyone affiliated with the business. B. Explain any instances of decertification or removal of participation from government certification programs. C. Then, explain any suspensions or debarments from government contracting that may be applicable to your firm or firms associated with your firm's owners, officers, directors, or senior managers. Broward County's small business programs are race and gender neutral. To assist the county in tracking outcomes for our certified firms, we collect information that best describes the ethnicity and/or gender of the firm's primary owners. You are now nearly done with the application. Next is the affidavit. Don't forget to sign and date the form. The affidavit is an important part of the application. Complete the accompanying affidavit for each owner. The affidavit must be signed and notarized. The Personal Net Worth Worksheet helps staff determine your eligibility for certification. Complete and submit one worksheet for each owner. Make sure the figures noted on the worksheet correspond with the information you provided in Section 2. The documents that accompany your application are vital. The supporting documents checklist is a useful tool for applicants to ensure all necessary items are included. This concludes the Completing Your Local Certification application, a webinar presented by the Broward County Office of Economic and Small Business Development. A great deal of information was covered over the course of this webinar. If you still have questions or need further clarification, please call us at 954-357-6400. Email us at sbcert@broward.org or visit our website at broward.org/econdev. We invite you to connect with us as we engage, educate, and empower our local business community. Remember, supporting your growth is our day job. Thank you for your interest in our programs and services.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, hi.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. We're
Okay.
just back to the presentation.
Okay. So I am looking at both the chat and the Q&A. It was a little difficult to stay up with both of them. But what I noticed was there were a lot of questions about location. So let me answer that first. Yes, you do need a location in Broward County, and yes, that location has to be fully staffed and staffed at least one full-time person, and staffed for at least 1 year prior to applying for certification. You can have, if you don't necessarily need a commercial location, you can have a home-based business. However, if you have a headquarter, or if you have a commercial location in Miami-Dade or in Palm Beach County, you need a commercial location in Broward. You can't say, well, I live in Broward, but I'm operating in Miami. You're not necessarily considered a Broward friend. Certainly you're a Broward resident, appreciate the residency, but that doesn't mean that you're a Broward firm. So you do need a location in Broward County. Virtual offices don't count. PO boxes don't count. What else did I see? I saw a lot of questions about how much does it cost. It does not cost you to become certified. There's no fee for the application. The other question that I got was about BidSync and BidSync. So BidSync for Broward County bids and RFPs and RFQs is free for Broward. So if you're a vendor with Broward County and you sign up with BidSync, as soon as you hit submit, BidSync's going to call you and try to get you to get that premium service. You do not need to pay for BidSync's premium service in order to view Broward County bids. So if they're trying to charge you, you should not be getting charged for just Broward County. Now, some people may want to pay that fee for BidSync Premium because they want to see bids all over the state or all over the country. But in order to see Broward County bids, you do not have to pay that fee. You can get the basic BidSync and be fine with that. What else did I see? If you have not started your business yet and you're just getting started, we do offer services for Broward County entrepreneurs who are interested in starting businesses. Just call our office at the 357-6400 number and tell the person who answers the phone that you want to get information about how to start a business. And you will be referred to the person that helps us with that. Yeah, if you're located outside of Broward County, it does not mean that you can't participate in Broward County procurement. Certainly you can. Those bids that are out there for that say open market for the under 250,000 and those bids that are out there that are over 250,000, you're certainly welcome to bid as a prime. But you will have to subcontract to our certified small businesses. So being located outside of Broward County does not preclude you from doing business with Broward, but just not under our small business program. Our small business program is for Broward County firms, it's for local firms.
All right, thank you, Cheryl. We actually have Mayor Dale Holness that has joined us today. So we'll give him a chance to make his remarks. Thank you, Mayor.
Well, good afternoon to everyone. It's actually still morning. It's been a long morning so far for me. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get on early. I actually had a ribbon cutting for University of Miami-Jackson. They opened a transplant center here in Broward County, one of the largest in the world. But congratulations to everyone that are there. It's a great step forward to opening doors for opportunities. Bishop Fernandez, you're a great, tremendous leader. Thanks for leading the way for this to happen. To my friend Anthea Pennant, who sits on one of our boards that has billions of dollars to spend over the next few years, and that's the Penny Tax Board. She's the diversity person for Broward College, and Shahiwa is doing a wonderful job also with the Black Chamber of Commerce. It's great to be in partnership with all of you, and of course, to Sandy Michael McDonald and all the staff from our Office of Small Business and Economic Development, tremendous work. We want to make sure that doors are open for you, and this is a major part of the process. In 2010, when I got to the county, we're doing 10.25% of our procurement with small business, minority, women-owned businesses. through our CBE program. Today, we're at excess of 35%, and we're still climbing, still working to open more doors for you to create opportunities so that you can make a better living than you have ever had. Hopefully, we can get some of these billions of dollars that's being spent by the county into your hands. Again, congratulations to all of you. It is important that everyone who pays taxes in Broward County enjoy a piece of the pie. Again, congratulations to all of you. Stay steadfast, get the certification done, look to see how you can grow your business. The chamber is there to help you. Our Office of Small Business and Economic Development is there to help you. I'm here to help you also. Again, thank you very much, Bishop Fernandez, for your leadership.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you stopping and taking a little time out of your busy day. And again, you know, I love it when I can get 3 minutes, let alone 3 hours. So thanks again for joining us. Right here, I think I'm getting ready to pivot because I certainly want to hear from, again, my partner. I'm not even going to go into all of that because I've just spent all day telling you about what she does and has done for the county and continues to do. But Ms. Pennant represents one of our major partners in terms of Broward College, and her aspect of that college is valuable to what we try to do on the economic development side, because they're far more than just a educational, an academia institution. They truly do believe in our mission, and they show it through her office. So Ms. Pennant, please come and share some words today and tell the folks about you and Broward College and certainly about this relationship. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Oh, you've been so generous to me. You are my superstar. And all of you at the county and Shahiwa, the mayor, my pastor, Bishop Fernandez, I want to thank everybody for making this possible. It's important that we keep this conversation going during this time. I know a lot of you are just feeling lost and hopeless because you're feeling like, what can you do in this time? Well, I want to encourage you because the reality is government is always doing business. They're always doing business. And so that's a good way for you to shore up your business. If you are able to garner a government contract, I promise you it will help to sustain your business and give you that sustainable income that you need from day to day. At Broward College, we believe in collaboration. We also believe in education, and that's why we want to partner with folks at the county and the school board and anywhere we can, because education truly is power. When you allow yourself, and I have to congratulate all of you for taking the time to log in with us today, because by learning how this is done, you will be able to push your business forward. While you're not able to do a whole lot in this time, maybe with your business, the things that you must absolutely do. And I'm just going to tell you 3 things. Get certified. Right now, you heard that whole training a while ago, and you hear about the county's ability to help you in that process. Get your business certified. It's the only way for them to know that you exist, number one, as a minority or a small business owner. And that's how you can take advantage of the opportunities that exist. The second thing that I have to tell you that is really critical is that you register your business, register with the county, but I also need you to register with Broward College. I personally take time to meet with businesses who need to get some encouragement or guidance in the process. We recently changed our registration process at Broward College to make it easier for you to be a part of our system. We're getting you right into what we call our workday system. Before, we had a registration process that was quite laborious, and you had to register on one system, and then if you want to join our small business program, you have to register in another system, and then when you actually start to do business or somebody invites you to do business, you have to register into another system. Now with this new registration process, one-time registration, it gets you right in front of our buyers immediately. It allows us to capture data about you. It allows you to be able to participate in our program right away. It takes anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. Please, at the end of this, we will have our Broward County, Broward College, see, I say Broward County because it's almost like I work with them. so much. But the Broward College website, broward.edu, you want to go on there where it says doing business with Broward College. That's where you want to click on and get your registration done. I have to tell you, I am so excited. I've been with Broward College for a little over 2.5 years, and we've been working to create a foundation where we can do so much more for our small businesses. Anybody who knows me knows that that's my heart. I know that you are the job creators of this world. I know that you are, and I know that you've had the courage. It takes courage to start a business, but more than anything else, you know, there's a daring risk you take when you start a business, and I don't want you to fail, because when you succeed, people have jobs. People get jobs, and we have to create the jobs for the community that are so impoverished, and many of you know what I'm talking about. And so for me, my heart and soul is about strengthening small businesses, but it starts with you. You have to do your part. You have to do your part. Take the time to get registered. That's how we get to know who you are. That's how we get to know your products. To register for Broward College to do business, we don't put you through the certification because the county already does such a fabulous job. And so they are one of our partners. We get certification, accept certification from 7 different entities, including the school board, all the counties between Palm Beach and Miami-Dade County, WeBank, Florida State Minority Development Council. We take from 7 different entities. So if you're certified in the state of Florida, if you're certified with any of these agencies, we accept your certification. So big part of it is done. You're done with certification. So it's just about registering with us. Broward College, we buy all kinds of goods and services. If you are in the catering business, oh boy, do we need your business. If you are in construction, yes, we need your business. If you sell office supplies, we're buying all kinds of goods and services. And so I want you to just take the time to get to know some of the products that we're seeking to purchase. But what makes me so excited with this new registration process that we've developed, I'm about to launch a campaign with all our department heads, because the buying of goods and services start with those in departments who say, I want to buy 1,000 pencils. And so we will be meeting with them and introducing small businesses who sell pencils. And so this is the time for you to get yourself ready. Get yourself ready by registering at broward.edu so you can be part of our system. And I want to tell you, it truly is an exciting time with what's going on with the penny tax. And I'm talking fast because I know my time is probably almost up. What's going on with the penny tax oversight board is extraordinary. So many of your dollars basically on the market ready to invite you to participate. You have the Broward Black Chamber of Commerce that is working tirelessly. You couldn't have a better leader. I salute you, Shahiwa. She literally called every single every single one of the members in the Black Chamber to see how they were doing. I wish I could have done the same with all that are registered with Broward College, but we're working on it. If you need to reach me, my number is, and I'm giving you my cell, it's 954-547-3845. 954-547-3845. If you need to reach me, I can guide you through the process. And my email address, of course, is apennant@broward.edu. I want to thank you all. I believe my time is up. I'm not sure. I've been just talking. But I just want you to stay on task. And take the time also to look at winning bids so you can start to prepare yourself, because that's the third piece. Certified, register, and then you have to bid. You really have to bid. Don't be shy about it. Call me. I will direct you to resources that can help you in that process. Thank you so much, everybody.
Ms. Bennett, thank you, and thank you for your energy, thank you for your spirit, but also thank you for your leadership and this alliance and this partnership. The next one is also a serious partner, and the thing I can say about Ms. Jarrett is that she's straightforward, she's open, she's honest, and at the end of the day, she's unapologetic about working to support and grow Black businesses. So don't get me twisted. She's direct with these agencies and these organizations like mine and others. But the thing I can respect and appreciate, she's just as honest with the businesses. It's not a game. This is your life. This is your opportunity. And if she's over here along with others fighting to create these opportunities, she wants to make sure that she's bringing it back to businesses that are just as committed in terms of taking advantage of these opportunities. So let me introduce you now and have our chairperson of the chamber speak. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the panel. It's a pleasure to partner with you all once again, and to kind of have us, I guess, the team back in full effect, although it's virtual, right? Kind of trying to host monthly meetings before we had this coronavirus, but we're pivoting because we understand the importance of making sure the small business community, our women business owners and our minority business owners get the information that they need. So Sandy, it's a pleasure to work with you again and your staff, and Thea, of course. We work closely. She's on our board of directors for the chamber, and with the mayor as well, and the bishop. I'm gonna kind of get in there, hit it and quit it, because I have like 3 overarching messages that I want to convey today to our business owners that are on the line. My first message is, if you're not ready, get ready, right? This is a time in which you should have some time to focus on bettering your business, pondering and understanding and analyzing your company to say, how can I get better? And that means getting your books in order. Getting certified with the county is going to force you to do that. We talk to our business owners all the time about that. That means making sure your taxes are in order, your financials are in order. This is the time to get it together. It's maybe slow, but as we're talking to you now, because government, although it may be slow, is still spending, right? Now the private sector may be a different ball game, but there's still spending in the public sector. So the point is, take the downtime or the slow in the economy to get yourself together. I'm tired of talking to business owners about getting certified with the county, and I love this program because it is free. You go through it, you do it, and you're able to register with other entities because you've been through this process with the county. So you definitely want to make sure you register and get certified with Broward County government. So that's the last thing I want to leave you on this first point. Follow through, right? You've made the first step of jumping on this virtual presentation or workshop, but follow through. Take the information here that you're receiving here today and act on it. Don't let it wait and linger, right? I constantly push my members and follow up with them. Did you get registered? Did you get registered? Half the time when they see me, they just say, yes, I did it. Or I put it in and they're calling me back and I have this or that document I need to get in, but I'm doing it because they know I am absolutely adamant about us not leaving money on the table. Government and agencies and these anchor institutions here in the county spend billions annually, and there's no need for you to be left out of that. Make sure you're in the game. Number 2, register with other entities, of course. I always tell people to start with the county, but then register with other entities. You have 31 cities or municipalities here in the county. You also have the anchor institutions that I refer to, the Broward Health, Broward Sheriff's Office, Broward County Public Schools, Broward College, NOVA. Do not leave any money on the table. That is my message to you today. Register with all of them. You have the time, and if you don't, make the time, okay? I know everybody says they're short on time, but make the time. We've created a resource page on our website, the Broward County Black Chamber of Commerce.com, and you click on that resource page, and you have federal, state, county, and local resources for you. Right? So for instance, on the federal level, we have a link to the PPP and EIDL. They've reopened those programs. You can click on that and have access to that, as well as SBA and other important links. We have, because I thought it was so important, and because I'm so adamant about people, our business owners getting involved and bidding and getting registered, even with the cities, there's a link to every single municipality on that resource page. So there's no excuse. You don't have to Google each. You go right to that resource page, you click it, and you land on that city's procurement page, and you can find out how to register. Most of them you just need to register. You don't need a certification with the cities. We also have links to the major anchor institution pages that I said before. So it's just a matter of going to our website. I see a question in the chat, Broward County Black Chamber of Commerce.com, and you click on the resource tab and you'll have all that information at your disposal. So don't just register here, keep the process, finish the process here, and then go on and register with other entities. As mentioned earlier by Sandy and Anthea, these cities have to comply with that 30% spending with small businesses too. So go ahead and register with them. Although they should be using the county's, their list of certified businesses. But once again, they have opportunities too, not related to the surtax. So you wanna make sure you sign up for that. And lastly, I'll say always be prepared, do your homework. And Anthea was correct. You go ahead and you get certified, you register, and then you bid. And a lot of people say, oh, well, how do you do that? What's that process like? Well, we tell our business owners, and we've done it personally, you make a public records request and you ask for the last bid in your category or industry that won the contract. You get no better template than the bid that actually won the contract. So you learn how to do this, learn how to write a winning bid, and don't stop, don't give up. You won't get, you'll get a few yeses, you'll get more no's, and you'll get yeses, but do not give up. You're tough, you started a business, so you've already cut your teeth on, I believe, some obstacles, so don't slow down, push forward, bid and bid again. You will win eventually, but make sure you do your research and understand what a winning bid looks like, so you're not shortcutting yourself, so you'll understand pricing, etc. So those are my tips today. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Shahiba, thank you. And those were some great tips, especially that part about bid and bid again, and about getting that information on the front end. But because at the end of the day, and she also mentioned, she said it the right way, you're busy. Don't get this twisted. Most of you spend most of your time on your craft, your skill, delivering the service, trying to get paid so you can eat. And you don't have as much time to grow your business and to familiarize yourself with the processes to grow your business. But if you want to do government work specifically, you're cranking over here in private industry, you have a legitimate opportunity before you put your feet in the water to really find out what it entails. Remember that thing I said about that second P, process. You can be registered as a BidSync vendor with the county for free, and based on your industries and your North American industry codes, you can start getting bids. Keep adding your business. One weekend, see a bid. Download the bid. Respond to the bid. Fill in the blanks. Use that period when the county does that question and answer. Ask some questions about this bid. Read other folks' questions. And guess what? If you choose to, send the bid in. Win, lose, or draw, you now have the experience of not only navigating the system, you know via that county agency purchasing and the user agency that's procuring what they expect. And keep in mind, you really could have did that and you're not even certified with me yet. Be a county vendor right now, this day. Take the 10 minutes for free and just let bids come to you. But what I also just explained is another one of our workshops. Certified now what? That's when I really dive into the 3 Ps, and that's when I begin to show you the other tips, as Shahiba just said, about how do I really navigate this process? How do I make it work for me? And I like the other part that she was making. Folks, you decided to go into business, respectfully. I don't think any of you, and I could be wrong, have attended my entrepreneurship courses or we excited you or no. You already cut your teeth as a business. You're now just simply looking at Broward to see if Broward measures up to be one of your clients. See, that's what you do in private industry. You're in landscape. You don't cut everybody's grass. You solicit everybody. You decide which contracts you want and what you're going to do. Here I am as a county. All these agencies, we spent over the last 3 years approximately $1 billion each year in good material and services. You can find out easily with my shop what we buy, what we procure. You already know what you do. Engage this process. Get your information on the front end. I answered a couple of questions when people told me about what they did. Okay, we might not do that, but send me the email anyway. I'm going to have one of my staff take a look at the last 3 to 5 years, and we'll tell you if the county's ever procured that. We'll tell you which agencies procured that. Hey, we'll tell you how much the county paid if they procured that. That helps you now make a decision post being a vendor if you even need to honestly waste your time with me. But if we share some information with you because we buy your good and services, multiple agencies buy that good and services, there's future projects that needs that good and services, and you decide to get committed, go far beyond just getting certified. So that's what this really was about today. This was about making sure that from our end, you understood why my office is even here. We exist because of a county ordinance. It's a goal and a vision of the commission to assure that these are opportunities for businesses, specifically small businesses in Broward. You met 2 of our partners who are also saying the same. From Broward County's perspective and the Chamber's perspective, you have other resources and other opportunities to engage in bids, as well as someone else fighting for you to make sure that these opportunities are genuine, they are substantive. It's now up to you. And I'm glad that the bishop is embracing us and having us to do this. You have to decide that whole little cute thing, faith without works, you got to put it in. It's on you. And at the end of the day, what we can say, and this is what she was saying, and I'm going to tell you about code words. See, this is what Miss Jarrett was saying. She was trying to tell y'all, because she did this in front of me about 3 times so far. She was telling y'all to challenge me. Don't let me and my staff in the county just run our mouth. She's telling you to challenge us. We talking about this certification process. We talking about we'll walk you through it. We talking about we'll navigate it. Guys and girls, if we come together this time next year, she don't want this repeater. She would want the session to start with who met us in June 20, even during the crisis, who did their own R&D, who decided to get certified, who engaged in a process. And it's not cute if you've already been in business 3 or 4 years and you decide to get certified because we really do have opportunities. It's not cute to come back this time next year and say, well, I'm still thinking about getting certified. Oh, I got certified, but I haven't had a chance to go after a bid. That's not what she's talking about. She would love to have you challenge us. Again, I don't make no promises you're going to win, but can I really put opportunities in front of you? Yes. Can I give you information that makes you more substantive towards your bids? Yes. Can I make sure you at least understand and navigate the process to be competitive? Yes. And as a business, that's all you want is that fair opportunity. Does the county, as the mayor said, have projects and opportunities coming out right now this minute? Yes. Miss Pennant and her team, with the county's permission last Thursday, because the commission meeting took so long, she just set the table for $150 million right off the bat. So cities are now scattering to prepare to put their bids in. I already got 23 counties and I got 4 cities. I already did their reviews. The point is, there's $150 million of activity that has the opportunities within the city and the county to get started by the end of this year. We're talking about putting $150 million worth of contractual opportunities on the table in this June, and we got COVID. So as Ms. Shahi was saying, the private industry might be kind of slow. Public industry got money. Folks, you need to get certified if any of those industries sound like you. And again, I don't want to waste your time. I answered several questions. And yes, I'm giving folks my email because I got 2 to 3 people who read my emails every day, so I don't miss nothing. At the end of the day, we want you to tell us who you are. We'll be honest. We'll go do some research. We'll tell you if we buy your good or service. If we are, we want you to follow every one of those contact streams that you got today from Cheryl. Cheryl and that virtual webinar told you about how to get certified. That same information, it may talk too fast, is on our website. There's a YouTube video. You at home or your office, you can go back and forth as many times as you want. You can download my application. You can still call my office if you need to call my office. But if you want to allow Broward to be one of your opportunities to grow your business, we're just trying to say we have truly set the table. No promises about if you win or not, because it's business. But I'm comfortable in saying the folks we've been working with and the folks that we've been assisting, I'm excited about them because one of the things I have my outreach group doing, like Savika, who's behind the camera, and her boss, Miss McCall, and others, we trying to show every month who done got certified new, but we trying to show every month in our newsletter who done won some contract. So this is about money, who's getting paid. We're trying to show each month who done grew in our program and graduated from our program. We're giving hints every week in our hot tips on our newsletter of what bids are getting ready to come out. And to Ms. Pennett's point, we're doing the same with surtax. I'm telling you in advance, it's legal. I'm telling you in advance based on city projects. When I review it, I'm putting it in my newsletter. No, I don't say the official date is coming out because I don't know. But I should certainly tell you, hey, this week, our office had a chance to review 5 surtax projects for 3 different cities. Keep your eye out for these cities. Keep your eye out for my newsletter. We'll tell you. Because again, the cities might be using a different procurement portal than BidSync. But you ain't got to do all that guesswork. I'm going to tell you. So the ideal is that we have information that we can make available. That again, we buy a lot, we don't buy everything, but for the things we buy, I gotta be honest, you have to make a decision and decide if this is something you want to engage. And I think the 3 of us have shared the same thing coming out of Cheryl's presentation. Ms. Pennant, Ms. Jarrett, and myself is saying, you do have to make the commitment now. With all the things that we're saying, you have to make the commitment and you have to be willing to put the work in. But our job is to make sure that there's real information and real opportunities. And I'm excited to say, based on what you heard from our mayor, Broward got real opportunities. And as an office, it is our job to do more than certify. We are really deep into the development and providing the technical assistance. There's no need of us keeping that information. No need of me taking it to the grave. I want everyone to know what Broward has as an opportunity. And I want you to participate if you're willing to participate. So really, that's it for me today. And I want to thank you for joining us. We are going to spend the next 5 or 6 minutes and keep trying to answer some more of these questions. Bishop, thank you again, sir, for leading us off and starting us and getting this going today. Mayor, thank you. And I know you're in transit, so drive safe. Shahiwa, thank you again on behalf of the chamber and all that you've done. And the same for you, Ms. Pennant. You know we love you and appreciate you. And Cheryl, that's just my ace. And at the end of the day, I'm not throwing her away and I'm throwing me away. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Cheryl directly, but anybody in our office is here, willing, and ready to serve you. So with that, let me say thank you again for joining us. And we do expect to see and or hear from not some of you, from quite a few of you. And again, I'm going to be excited when I get to see some of your name cross my desk for certification. I'll be excited, but I'm going to be ecstatic when your name crossed my desk for one of these contracts. That's when I'm screaming and shouting, excuse me, Bishop, and screaming hallelujah when you got some chance to make some money. But with that, folks, have a beautiful Friday. Stay safe. Make sure your business, your family, and your friends are safe. And we just want to thank you again for joining us today. Have a good weekend. Thank you all.
All right.